Welcome back to another session of the SWAT Boot Camp. Now, earlier we talked about a method I created called the Sane Writer, how to write mindfully without losing your mind. And we've already gotten through the sane part. So this is going to help you get through the content development part. Now, this particular lesson works best for those who are writing self-help, how-tos. If you're writing a memoir, this may or may not help you very much, but this is definitely for those who are doing more informational type books. Let's quickly review what you created for SANE. Remember, SANE stands for the subject, your audience, the need, and the expected results. So you should be at the point here where you've already created your book SANE statement. You know your subject, you have your working title, you know who your audience is, you know what you're going to give them as far as what they need, and you know what goal you're trying to accomplish, the expected results. So let's take the writer portion. This is the information you are going to use to craft your content chapter by chapter. So let's take a look at that. This is called the writer way. You're going to start with a welcome. Basically, this could be a compelling opening statement. You want to grab the reader's attention in the first sentence or two. You can do this by using humor. You can use an anecdote. You could ask a question. You can use quotes, but just something short and quick just to grab their attention. The R stands for reason. Basically, this is where you establish your main point, why you are here. You want to establish why they need to read whatever it is that you're writing. So this is where, this more of an introduction, as if this is what we're going to talk about. Now, you don't definitely have to write it that way, but you want to transition into whatever your main point is. And then the bulk of the chapter is going to be your information. This is where you're going to give supportive data. You might use statistics. You might give your sources. You're going to state more facts versus opinions. So the bulk of your chapter is going to be your information that you are going to give them. After the information, there needs to be some takeaways. This is your call to action moment. This is your now what moments. It could be things like questions or things to do, but you want to make sure that for the expected results, now that you've read this information, this is what you want the reader to do next. And then you have your ending. You're going to wrap up your points. You might do a list of points. You may do a summary. You may ask a few questions for them to think about or to ponder. And so once you've got to that point, then you need to, as an author, go back and review and ask yourself, did you accomplish your goal for the chapter? You know, do you have a compelling opening statement? Have you grabbed their attention? Does the reader know why they're here? Do you have all the information in that chapter that you wanted to give? Is there some kind of application to that? And did you wrap up your points? Did you summarize your point to bring the reader back to, I said I came here to do this and I did this? And so that's the writer way. W.R.I.T.E.R. And so for those of you who are going to, like I said, if you're doing informational type things, self-helps, how-tos, this is a great way to organize your chapter. It is not the only way, it is just a way. And so if this is something that appeals to you, go ahead and begin to set your pages up for the W.R.I.T.E.R. Put that in your mind. Make sure you complete your project planner with, your takeaways, your treasure maps, to make sure that you have a very detailed outline so that when you are sitting down to write, you just stay focused. And then you might want to identify your chapters in order of difficulty. Just, you don't have to start writing at chapter 1. If chapter 3 is the easiest chapter for you to write, by all means start at chapter 3. So, begin to look at the information you're trying to present and ask yourself, where do you want to start? So this is basically the sane writer method, how to write mindfully without losing your mind. Until next time, authors, bye-bye.